Hi everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. Really excited. When I went to Cornwall on holiday, we went to the beaches. I love collecting little stones, little shells from the beaches that I think I could actually use in some artwork. So I've just sorted through all the stones I brought back from Cornwall. And I'm going to use them to create some pebble flowers. So I'm going to do a paint pour. I'm going to use my split cup, use very pastel-y colours. So 3 greens, a pale pink and a pale purple, because I want to have the colours of kind of a spring meadow. And then I'm going to use my pebbles and arrange them on the board to create some flowers. So really excited and inspired by these stones. So let me show you what colours I'm using. These are the gorgeous colours I'm using. Really excited about these colours. This one here is Amsterdam Brilliant Green, but I've added some white because I want them quite pale colours. This one here is Pebble, what's it called? Chrome Green Hue, but I've added some white, and this is the same colour, but I've added more white. So they're 2 shades of this, and then a different green. I've got here Amsterdam Persian Rose. Again, I've added a little bit of white, and this one is Amsterdam Ultramarine Violet. Again, I've added white. So they just want really pale and pastel-y, and the reason for that is I just want the stones, the flowers, to stand out against the background. So it'll be a reasonably busy background because I'm going to do a ring pour with my split cup. So I guess I just wanted the colours all a similar sort of depth, so that the stones would show up more on the background. The consistency, it's mixed with PVA glue and water, pouring medium, and I've mixed it 2 to 1, so 2 parts pouring medium to 1 part paint. So it runs nicely. I want it to be thick enough that the colours don't blend too much or muddy, but I want it thin enough that it's going to pour really nicely and dry really nice and flat and smooth. So I'm using my 5-chamber split cup. I'm going to separate the greens and put the pink and the purple in between. The other reason I don't want this too runny is because I'm putting pink and green next to each other. So if they blend, I'm getting brown. So it's a bit of a gamble. So let's pour some in. I don't think I'm going to need all of this. I'm using a 30cm board. Better probably to put too much in than not enough, but then I can always just stop mid-pour. Now I always find it quite difficult when if I fill it up, it's fine, but if I don't fill it up, it's quite difficult to just judge how full they are. So I find if I just tilt it forwards, I can see which ones come to the top first. So this pale green, that took ages, so I think I haven't got enough in there. Now I've put too much in because it's coming to the surface much quicker than the others. If you fill it up, the chambers are all the same size, I think, so if you fill it up, it's fine. But if you only want to put a smaller amount in, it's a bit trickier. Right, I think I'm happier with that. So for this pour, I'm using a box frame from Hobbycraft. I love these. They've got glass on the front. I sometimes use the glass, I sometimes keep it out. But because they've got depth, I think it just works really well with the pebbles. If you just have a flat canvas, you've got to be a bit careful on how you're going to stick the pebbles to the canvas, and it could bow. And also they just look, they're sitting so proud of the canvas. I just don't think it works as well. So on the back of these, you have a little board, which I've got here. So it's probably about 3 mils thick. It's a bit bendy, so there is a chance that this can warp. When I've done it before, it's warped very slightly, but because I'm then putting it into a box frame, it can kind of hold it straight and hold it flat. So I'm not going to worry too much actually about it warping. I can't check that it's level. Well, I suppose I could put it on my yogurt pot and then check, but I don't. See if I put weight on. Oh no, it is working. I thought if I was going to put weight on the edges, it would affect it. Do you know, that is pretty level. I know my table is level. and I'm going to guess that a yogurt pot is level. So yeah, good start. So I'm going to do a ring pour. I'm going to pour right into the centre. I will maybe twist my hand around. I'll see how it goes. I quite like moving around as I'm pouring. So let's just get them all the colours to the edge and just see what happens. This is looking really pretty. I can't see much pink. I might see it as I open it up and stretch it out a little bit. But I really love the subtlety of it. There's quite a few cells. Sorry, I keep saying that. Quite a few air bubbles. So let's just get rid of those now. If I get some cells created by the air bubbles, that's fine. Absolutely fine. I'm not going for cells because I think it will just look too busy. But if I get some, that's fine. Right, I'd quite like a slightly distorted offset composition to this. So I'm not going to spin it, I am going to tilt it. If you spin it, you're more likely to retain the rings and keep it rounder, but I don't actually want that. And that's also why I'm not at all worried that this isn't in the centre at the moment. I'm not going to put a flow extender down because there's enough paint on here, plenty of paint. And because the pattern kind of keeps repeating itself, actually, it doesn't matter. I don't need to stop this rolling over itself. Oh, incidentally, what I ended up doing was going clockwise, going in one direction and then anti-clockwise. So I kept changing the direction that I was pouring in. So I think first of all, I will just stretch it as much as I can. Now there is something in my paint just there. Got it. So when you get something out your paint, you're risking disturbing the lines, which is what I've done, but it's weighing it up, because if I don't do that, it's going to disturb the lines even more as the paint runs over the lump. But if you can get the lumps out earlier on, it's much, much better, because then you're still stretching it out, so it's likely to show less. And lumps generally are just little bits of paint that haven't mixed in. They're a real pain. You see there's something right in the middle there. Oh, that was a big lump. Oh, I'm glad I've got that one. Again, if this was going to be a perfect ring pour, I would be a bit more worried. Now, I'm not quite happy with that centre. There was a little tiny spot as the paint came out. So I'm just going to that's it. Just make a little circle just to make it look a bit prettier, because I'm pretty sure the centre will stay on this board. Right, let's go over these edges. Right, the pink's coming out. Look at it, I can see it. Wow, oh, I'm really liking this. It's subtle and it's soft, and that's what I wanted. So many of my paintings are bright and crazy. I wanted the opposite for this. I wanted soft and relaxing and more tranquil looking. Just one other thing to mention while I'm stretching this out is one option I had before I poured this was to put some gesso down on the board. That would have primed it. That might help with warping, but I've done this without putting that down and it was fine. So, oh, that fly, get away fly. So I haven't bothered priming this first. Right, I definitely want off centre, so let's just have a look and see which bits I like and which bits not so much. I don't like that little funny little curve there, so I think I probably will just tip off that way a bit. I haven't got loads of paint left on here, but I've got some, so I can just do a little bit of tilting. I've still got a lump in there. And the only other bit I'm not as keen on, this might be a bit tricky to get, is here. And that's where I had a lump and I tried to pull it out. But I'm just not sure. Let's see. Let's try and get the weight over there and see what happens. The more I can stretch this, the more you'll see the colours open up and the less paint will be on here, which will be brilliant in terms of it drying. Let's see how far this is going to stretch. It's getting down there. Because the less paint that's on here, the less chance there is that this is going to warp. Yeah, I'm going to get it. There you go, it's gone. Right, I think I am quite happy with that. It's offset, it's not that offset actually, but the composition is not symmetrical, which is great. So you've got pale here and then darker here. I wonder if it's because it's a board, you can see the lumps more. I wonder. Because it's such a smooth surface, whereas a canvas might actually hide them a bit more. So it's now dry, really excited. It hasn't warped. It looks absolutely fine. It's really nice and flat. I'm so happy with it. You've got the different colours. You've got the very much the definition between the purple, the pink and the greens, but it's just soft and it's just delicate. So really, really happy with how this has dried. So you can see I've just started sketching on just a few flower stems and a few little leaves. I've placed the pebbles on. I'm going to have 5 flowers, 3 large and 2 small. But I've taken them off again so I can paint this on first. So I'm going to use some of the leftovers. So I've just got the darker green and a paler green. I want it to be quite subtle. I don't want it to be really obvious. So I'm just now going to paint them on and then start gluing the pebbles in place. So this piece is now finished. I'm over the moon with it. I just think it works so well. The frame has got glass in, but I've taken the glass out at the moment just to film it to show you because it was just too reflective. You couldn't see it properly. Love the pour. Love the fact you've got the purple, you've got the pink. Love the different size flowers. Love the fact that you've got the dark purple with the white and the dark purple here and the dark purple here and then the white. So you've got a real mixture of the flowers. And then really, really happy with my stems and my leaves. I went over them a few times with different coloured greens just to give a little bit of sort of texture to it, but I tried to keep it quite pale so it doesn't dominate. It's definitely pale enough just to add to it, just to bring the whole thing together. I ended up using a hot glue gun to stick the stones on. Used quite a lot of glue, and I think they're quite secure. I don't think that they will fall off. The good thing about the hot glue gun is the glue kind of molds to the shape of the stone. So I'm hoping they'll be quite secure. So let me know what you think. Love to know your thoughts on this, your comments. Please, anything you want to say, any ideas you've got for next time, let me know. I'd love to hear them. Great, thanks so much for watching. If you like it, please do hit the thumbs up button. Take care, everyone. Bye.